Now you said Peter Domelbauer. Was he involved in this?
Well, he claims credit.
Well, let's find him. Where are you, Peter?
All I can remember is that it wasn't until after that I met with Shannon that they included this new, I guess this new requirement of no profanity, no preaching, and no politics. It wasn't until after that they did that. So I know that once we met, though, it was we had a great time, and our first turnout with Larry's help was really huge, and I had no idea that it would end up like it has today.
And you were the first speaker
Yep.
on the topic of ethics.
Yeah, well, I was trying to learn it at the time.
And is it true that you're a lawyer?
No comment.
Thank you very much. You were at that first meeting that Musselwhite and Domelbauer were talking about, correct?
I was.
All right. Tell us about that meeting and what did you do after the meeting?
I regretted holding up my hand. No, just kidding. You know, actually, we had just rolled out our ethics program at Enterprise, and when we were asked if anybody had such a program, we raised our hand, and then we met as a group. There were like 3 or 4 of us that actually met at Gabriella's, and Valerie was with me, so you can talk to her next. And you know, we really that's really kind of where it started. We started talking about, you know, kind of what were some of the things that other companies were doing, and we were just getting started, and it just kind of snowballed. Mm-hmm.
Shannon and I met way back when I was Director of Finance and she was the Director of Human Resources. And then our paths, you know, we still stayed in touch. And one day, Shannon knew that we had some similar characteristics, I believe. We both walk fast, talk fast, and we both are crazy enough to take on things that other people would think, why wouldn't you think that through before you did it? So that's kind of how it all got started. Was I was crazy enough to say, sure, I'll start that chapter in Tulsa, not knowing what I was getting myself into. And other great people joined along and were crazy enough to join along with us to do that as well. I do recall, here's what I remember about, when we started doing the guiding principles and we met in the beautiful Best Western at Stroud, Oklahoma, that Shannon and I, also not thinking clearly, said, you know, Shannon, you know, we should probably pay for people's lunches. So maybe it'd be a good idea if we split the bill and paid for it. Well, shortly thereafter, I started thinking, we are going to go broke if we keep up on this pace. And being the accountant type that I am, I said, Shannon, do you think we should charge dues or something like that? And Shannon was like, do you think people would actually pay dues? And I'm like, yeah, I think they might consider it. Let's do a real organization and maybe we should think about that. So those were some of the things I recall that we were crazy enough to do.
We want to look this morning at the guiding principle of honor. And you heard a little bit earlier at the introduction some people being honored for some of the things that they do with regard to the consortium. And I think if you look at those guiding principles, something that stand out to you, and that is that they're all based upon different character qualities like enthusiasm and boldness and responsibility and respect, deference, tolerance, dependability, initiative, courage, and of course honor, the one we want to look at this morning.
Thank you for coming. It's a very special milestone event.
Welcome. I'm Lynn Flynn, President of the Oklahoma Business Ethics Consortium.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain.
We'll look back someday and be able to say we were at the very first one, and that is quite a thrill.
I'm happy to present this scholarship to Sean Patrick.
And I'm happy to announce Lincoln Keck as the 2006 Compass Scholarship recipient.
Recipient of the Oklahoma Business Ethics Foundation Scholarship, Mrs. Vertina Long.
This is good stuff.
One, I totally believe in the Ethics Consortium and what has been done over the past few years with the leadership in Oklahoma City and Tulsa, and I believe beginning to expand outside of those two areas to bring in the business community solely for the purpose of making sure that we are constantly reminded about the essential need to have ethics in our business dealings. Not just to understand that it is important, but to practice it, to network with it, to make sure our employees know from the top down that ethics is an important component of Oklahoma's values, both personal and professional.
Great teams, great businesses, and the people that comprise both have that very special sense of knowing where they are in their relationships with one another, in their mission, and in their ultimate relationship with their Heavenly Father. Those people get it.
In the final analysis, doing what's right counts. For Bama, doing what's right includes being an active member in the Oklahoma Business Ethics Consortium. For you and your company, doing what's right includes being an active member in the Oklahoma Business Ethics Consortium. Come, join with us in supporting ethical business practices in the great state of Oklahoma.